Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're a little bit familiar with how I do series on my channel, mostly for Taylor Swift, with the last series that I've been doing, which was Speak Now's Taylor's version, whenever the vault was revealed, I decided to make videos predicting how I think certain songs are going to sound like, what I think they're going to be about, and I think it was a really fun aspect of the videos that I made with the Speak Now series, so I kind of wanted to continue that with predicting the 1989 vault track sounds. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, Taylor Swift made people do 33 million puzzles, which is crazy that that actually got done. I was surprised that happened so quickly. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, that's gonna take like a while because the album's still a month away, but it was done in like a day. So we do know the titles of the 5 tracks that are gonna be a part of the vault. When I did the Speak Now video, I did do 2 separate videos of the actual track songs and then the vault songs. So this one's just going to be the vault. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do a video on the standard edition tracks because there are quite a few that I haven't heard, but I think 1989 is an album that I've heard a couple songs from just because I think it was very popular. So I might end up making a prediction video on the regular tracks, but like I said, for now it's just going to be about the vault. So let's just get straight into it. So this is basically a reworked version of the Speak Now one, so you might see some elements that kind of look similar, but this is the title of it. If you're familiar with the first version that I did with Speak Now, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm basically going to give 2 thoughts of where I think it could have points of association with inspiration, and the last one's just going to be kind of what I think it's going to sound like, whether or not it's going to be upbeat, maybe a ballad, who knows, but that's going to be kind of how this is set up. So with the first song, it is actually titled Slut with an exclamation point, and the 3 thoughts that I kind of put with this is I can definitely see this being more of a tongue-in-cheek song. I'm not exactly how she's going to use the play on word, of course, but I can feel like this is going to be a play on something, and it's going to be talking about some sort of scrutiny or just how the word is, you know, demeaning and undermining to women. And I think she's going to do it in a tongue-in-cheek way. I don't know how much more to explain it, but the association that I kind of got was earlier this year I did listen to an album called Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter, and she did have a song that said Because I Liked a Boy, and the chorus just comes to my mind, and it was, I wrote it down, I don't remember exactly how it went. Now I'm a home wrecker, I'm a slut, I got death threats filling up semi-trucks. Of course it's not going to sound exactly the same, but that's kind of like the idea I'm getting, as like, maybe she's been called that, or something along those lines. I could definitely see being like that. And I do think it's going to be an upbeat pop song. From what I understand, and based on the songs that I've heard from 1989, it definitely feels like a constant good time, so I feel like most of these are probably going to be upbeat. So I feel like Slut is a safe one to say that it's going to be an upbeat track. But that's my thoughts on this song. The second vault track is going to be called Say Don't Go. And for some reason, I don't know if it's the way that it's written, or maybe it just has the same vibes, but it gave me Come Back Be Here vibes, where it was, that song to me, Come Back Be Here, was all about wishing that you could be with that person and you're always on the different page. It's like right person, wrong time, and I feel like Say Don't Go is kind of like, also I should have maybe put like You're Losing Me, because that's a song I listened to from the Midnight's Vault, and it said, do something babe, say something. It's like you're about to lose the love of your life and all you have to do is like say something and you're just not mustering up the courage. So that's why I kind of made it to seem like a breakup album. Like I said, I didn't include You're Losing Me on here, but I feel like it's something about not wanting to lose a person, but in some sort of words could save it, but it's just obviously not happening because she's saying don't go. I use the word ballad very loosely because I think most of them are still going to be pretty mellow, but I think this one could be our sad song of the vault. but moving on, track 3 from the vault is Now That We Don't Talk. And I can see this one being an upbeat track about looking back in retrospect about maybe the things that you dealt with or the things that you tolerated for so long, and now you're looking back and you're like, now that we don't talk, I can say the shit that I've been wanting to say. And so I kind of put the word liberation too, just because maybe you feel freed from whatever thing that was holding you back. I would assume it's a person, because now that we don't talk. So I could also see it going in a sad direction, but like I said, just because I know from context clues that this is a pretty happy album, I really don't see it being maybe like now that we don't talk, I'm depressed. Like, I don't see that being the vibes here. So that's kind of why I made it upbeat, but I definitely think it's going to be looking back at a relationship or a person, situationship, whatever you want to say, but I definitely think it's looking back and maybe being happy about it. That's kind of where I'm thinking with this one. Track 4 is the most interesting song title to me out of all of them. It's called Suburban Legends, just because, like, where is that gonna go? I think of a minivan for some reason, but that has like nothing to do with the song, I'm sure. I got imaginative vibes because the one song that I did listen to on Speak Now's Taylor's version was Mine, and it was the very first song of the album, and it was very imaginative, and she was imagining a life with this person. And given that song, she's like, we got bills to pay, she had babies in that music video, and it kind of gave me the vibes of the word Suburban Legends. It's like these two big people, which they're, I'm assuming, celebrities. It's when maybe when they finally settle down, and they'll always be those suburban legends. It's like they're kind of like royalty, and they're trying to get acclimated to a normal life. So that's why I kind of put imaginative. I thought it might be story-based, like a what-if scenario of like, what if she became more suburban, or, you know, in that type of life space. I still think it's going to be somewhat upbeat because, like I said, that's what 1989 seems like. But I still put, like, this one might be a little bit lower. Wouldn't call it a ballad, but I think it might be some mellow production. Something else that I didn't put, but Suburban Legends also makes me think of, obviously, like Rumors, or they talk about how you got here. And Long Live is another song where it's like, if you have kids someday, tell them my name. So maybe it's like they tell the legend. Wasn't there a song that says the legend how you disappeared? I don't know. I'm going to get too far into that one just because I feel like that one is such a can of worms that could be what could be with it. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it with imaginative and kind of like a story. So that's what I think Suburban Legends might be about. And then the last one is It Over Now? ? And the first thing that came to my mind was an argument or a fight where it's like, are we done now? It's like, maybe you've been in a situation for so long where you're going through the same motions where you're like, is this gonna be the one that's like the straw that broke the camel's back? Or that saying where it's just like, what's gonna be the breaking point? But then I did also realize that it's the very last song on the album, and I do feel like when Taylor ends her albums, maybe not necessarily the vault songs, but for the most part in the albums that I've experienced with her, like Folklore, even Midnights, it's always very retrospective, and it's always kind of a little bit calmer, especially with like New Year's Day. So I definitely think it might be a ballad for sure, or a lower production. And I could also see it maybe being career-based because Is It Over Now? We know from a couple tracks throughout her career that she always has this inkling of like, how long, when is the ground gonna break below me? When is it gonna finally be over? So I can either see it just like saying about being an argument or a fight with someone, like, you know, tumultuous experience in your life, or I can see it's like the hauntings of her career. But that's kind of what I think about this track. So that's the 5 vault tracks. I was kind of surprised that we're not getting any more than that because Speak Now had 6, and then Red had a lot more. I don't know how many they had, but I feel like they had like 10 vault tracks low-key. But that's kind of what I thought of the vault tracks. I know none of you guys have heard it yet, so let me know what your predictions are. Let's see if we're going to be right, and then as we go through the album, of course, I'll probably be referencing this video a couple times. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with any of these predictions. If you don't, let me know what your thoughts. But thanks so much, and I'll see you in our next video.